Evidence for Democracy is a nonprofit that empowers scientists and Canadians to ask the government to be more transparent and evidence-based. I think as we've seen recently, a population that believes in science and is scientifically literate is empowering for our democracy, so that's really important. It's also important that we have the science that we need to make good policy decisions.
The foundation of Evidence for Democracy is that we all benefit when governments are making decisions that are based on science and evidence. E4D basically works to make sure that research in Canada is well-funded, openly communicated to the public, and actually used in government decision-making in Canada. And we do this through issue advocacy campaigns.
E4D's campaigns really reflect our goals because we always strive to make them as evidence and fact-based as we can. So that's a big component of what we do. They're also very driven by the science community and what they need. So it is very related to the grassroots and to the researchers and scientists on the ground who bring us issues and say this is happening.
And then we also do sort of what we call our education stream, which is both sort of educating the public on why science is important and why it matters for our democracy. And then we also do a lot of training that is actually geared towards scientists and researchers. So we do webinar training on things like communications, helping scientists and researchers understand how government policy and decision-making works, government relations for scientists, helping scientists engage in the federal budget process. So really just, trying to help get scientists more engaged with the public, media, and decision makers. We do often sort of talk about E4D as like a voice for science in Ottawa, particularly around government relations work. Sometimes this does mean, trying to get a very concrete policy or action from the government, but a lot of times it's actually just relationship building.
When we're talking to government, it is about holding them to account. It's about demanding more, so asking for more transparency, more science, more showing your work, more open data, more funding for science. But it's also about connecting it to their stated priorities, because that really helps to underpin your agenda, and it's about shaping how you frame things, but still keeping true to your asks.
The reason that we can get their attention is because that they know that if it comes to it, we can mobilize thousands of scientists. So we do a lot of government relations work ourselves, but then we also really want to empower that grassroots mobilization within the science community.
So I think the grassroots engagement that we do is really important because it builds community, and it shows people who are interested in science policy or evidence-based policy or even just research funding that there's other people out there like them who care deeply about these issues. There's something special about meeting in person, and that's why we host events and have chapters across the country. You get face-to-face time with people who hold the same values and who are ready to take action when they need to. The E4D community is very special. It's a mix of scientists, researchers, early career researchers, students, senior researchers, tenured profs, and Canadians who have no science background at all who really care about these issues like myself. And it's quite diverse, it's quite interesting. There's a whole level of academic backgrounds and work backgrounds, and we're really spread across Canada.